Hello, Geometry. This is Chapter 4, 4.1 Notes. All right, so I haven't really made many videos for geometry in the past few weeks, but because we're remote learning now, you guys certainly need some guidance. So this chapter is totally different from what we've been doing. It's an introduction to logic, how we think things through. It's interesting because it's not just math in terms of geometry, but it's kind of a basis for law and how people make laws and argue them. So you're just going to see a little sliver of that. Let's get to it. So the first thing we need to do is determine what the heck an if-then statement is. What's an if-then statement? Well, basically, writing a statement like that says, if the thing you're arguing is true, we'll call it a hypothesis. Then the conclusion that's also true follows. In fact, this assignment's going to give us some false statements. So instead of saying if the hypothesis is true, I'm just going to say if the hypothesis is stated. Sorry, got to erase, I know. Then the conclusion follows. So the if portion is your hypothesis, the then portion is your conclusion. It just organizes things in a way that fits math and also fits science and also fits law. So I'm just going to jump into this. How can we turn I will go to the game if I get all of my homework done into an if-then statement? So here's number one. Well, it seems like the hypothesis, the if part, is right here. They just reversed the way in which it was written. If I get all of my homework done, then I will go to the game. Seems responsible enough. That's what they're asking you to do. Write the statement in if-then form. This is the statement with an if. Hypothesis follows, then conclusion follows. So on the homework, you're also going to be asked to determine what the hypothesis of a statement is and what the conclusion is. It'd be like saying, hey, this was our hypothesis, the thing that's underlined. The hypothesis, hey, I'm going to get my homework done. Conclusion, I will go to the game. Try number two. Pause the video, see if you can write it on your own without me helping. Okay, let's see if you're correct. The water will freeze if the temperature is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, they're giving us the if portion right there. If the temperature is 10 degrees, then the water will freeze. Our hypothesis was the temperature is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. The conclusion, the water will freeze. So those two were, I'm not going to say they were obvious, but they certainly gave us a boost when they said if here and if there. What happens when you get something like number 3? A student on the high honor roll has at least a 90 average. There's no ifs. There's no thens. How are we supposed to determine who the if is and who the then is? Let's get some room here. There we go. So we're talking number 3. Well, what's your hypothesis? Remember, it's a hypothesis which leads to a conclusion. All right? The conclusion is sort of like the action that occurs after. So, a student on the high honor roll has at least a 90 average. Is the if that the student has at least a 90 average, or is the if that the student is on a high honor roll? Well, last time I checked, the honor roll is affected by your overall average. So right here, this is my hypothesis. If, who has at least a 90? If a student has at least a 90 average. Okay? So this is different, right? We basically had to break up the statement to find the if part. If a student has at least a 90 average, we're talking 90%. That's pretty good. So this is a part of the hypothesis, as is this. Then who's on the high honor roll? That student's on the high honor roll. We could say he or she. He or she is on the high honor roll. That's the conclusion. So, what about number 4? If Bert goes shopping for groceries only on Wednesday. This is tougher. So, what do you guys think? Is it that if it's Wednesday, then Bert must go shopping for groceries? Or is it, if Bert's shopping for groceries, then it's got to be Wednesday? Which of those makes sense for number 4? It's not saying that Wednesday implies he has to go grocery shopping. What it's saying is, if Bert is going shopping for groceries, it's got to be a Wednesday. So think about it like this. Think about a calendar. Oh man, I wish I had a calendar posted. Can I get that? Can we do that right now? Yes, we can. Okay, so check the calendar off on the right. Can you guys see that? All it's saying is that Bert only goes for groceries on Wednesday. So let's say Bert goes grocery shopping on November 4th, and then he goes grocery shopping on the 25th, and then he goes grocery shopping on December 2nd and December 9th, okay? If it's Wednesday, Bert does not go grocery shopping on the 11th or the 18th. So the if part isn't if it's Wednesday. The if part is if Bert goes shopping for groceries. I know that was a little tricky. Unfair? No, I don't think it was unfair. If Bert goes shopping for groceries, then it's got to be Wednesday. So you'll see some relatively tricky ones like that. And then the last one. The number 2 is a factor of every even number. So, if a number is even, then the number 2 is a factor of it. If a number is even, we can say that that is our if part. If a number is even, okay, there's our hypothesis, then the number 2 is a factor of it. All right, again, I get it, guys. This is super weird to be doing this in a math class. But it's laying the groundwork for our logic. Today's homework is going to be just numbers 1 through 10 on this practice problem set. So in the first 5, all you're doing is identifying what the hypothesis and conclusion is. All right, I think I was pretty clear on the fact that the hypothesis is the if part, the then part is the conclusion. And then on 6 through 10, you guys are doing what we did on those 5 examples right there. So 1 through 10, get it done by 11:59 p.m. on November 11th. You guys can type this up if you want to on a Google Doc. It seems like it would make a whole lot more sense to type this than it would be to try to write it out. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to get through this remote learning thing the best we can to keep moving content forward. And if you have questions, I will answer them the best I can. Contact me through email.